RCMP suspends contract with China Link Company. This is the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system. Never going home. I'm in love.
All right, so earlier this week it came out that the federal government had awarded an RCMP contract to a firm with ties to China, and that the government did not consider security concerns in bid to build and maintain the RCMP radio equipment. Typical Canadian government. Never think things through. Sinclair Technologies won a contract to build and maintain security equipment for RCMP radio communications. But Sinclair's ownership by a Chinese company with financial ties to the Chinese government had security experts concerned. So even though this company is based in North America or here, it's still owned by a Chinese company, which means it has Communist Party members on its board. In China, any company with or business with more than 5 employees must have a Chinese Communist Party member. So this, of course, raised concerns about potential Chinese access to the RCMP communications and data. Of course, there'd probably be a backdoor. So just over a year ago, October 6th, the federal government awarded Sinclair Technologies a contract worth $550,000 for a radio frequency filtering system. Rounding up, okay? One of the system's purposes is to protect the RCMP's land-based radio communications from eavesdropping. And they go through a Chinese company. Okay. Now, this company is based in Ontario, but has been controlled by Hyteria Communications of Shenzhen, China since 2017, when Hyteria purchased Norsat International, Sinclair's parent company. This is one of the ways we can hit China. We can actually take over Sinclair Technologies and kick out Hyteria, force them out, as part of national security concerns. So it was discovered that the Chinese government owns approximately 10% of Hyteria Communications through an investment fund, which means they have a lot of party members on the board controlling the strings. Part of the national security law in China is that all companies in China must comply with Chinese security services and the Chinese military and the party. So if China wanted to get into your data through this company, they could easily. The United States blacklisted Hyteria in 2021, and is one of several Chinese firms that pose an unacceptable risk to the national security of the United States. Sales and imports of Hyteria equipment are banned in the United States as a result. Meanwhile, our government stupidly awards a contract to the same company. They don't get it. And in fact, we didn't even ban Huawei until this year. Already, Hyteria is facing 21 charges in an American espionage case. Now, anytime there's a government contract, there has to be a bid for it, and they have to look at all bids and then accept the one. So the other bid, Comprod, a Quebec-based communications technology firm, said that Sinclair Technologies can make equipment cheaper than it did before because some of its components are now made in China, not Canada. So it's not, again, if it's not made in Canada, don't get it. So now I'll probably pull that contract out and give it to Comprod. Turns out that the bid difference was only $60,000. And they've already started installation work on the systems in Ontario and Saskatchewan. So the RCMP is confident the system will remain secure? No, pull it out. Okay, so that goes on. So the decision by the federal government at the time made Sinclair preferred vendor for a 3-year term. The agreement includes the possibility of a 2-year extension option, so 5 years. And this is at a time when Kovrig and Spavor were still sitting in a Chinese jail. All right, so today they decided to suspend the contract with China Link Company because obviously they're getting hammered in the House of Commons over this. And it's a risk of espionage targeting Canada's National Police Service. Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino confirmed that the RCMP has suspended a contract with Sinclair Technologies over this. Public Services and Procurement Canada previously told Radio Canada that security concerns in Sinclair's ownership were not taken into consideration during the bidding process. The contract awarded on October 6, 2021. Unbelievable. At the time when Kovrig and Spavor were sitting in a Chinese jail, Meng the Merciless was roaming around Vancouver, Huawei was still being considered for a ban, China was playing all these dirty games to get us to release this stupid check, and you're not taking into consideration these things? And the fact that the company that's bidding is partly owned by China? I wish Canadians would wake up and realize that the Communist Party of China is the new evil in this world, and that we're in a Cold War, whether they like it or not. And the sooner they realize that, the better. Anyway, any Canadians out there, let me know what you guys think of the RCMP and the government's stupidity in awarding these contracts to China. Should we take over the company, kick out the Chinese ownership, and restructure it. And I think it's time to bring a lot of things that are supposed to be Canadian back into Canada. Leave comments in the comment section, and until next time, this has been the Great White North Report.
I'm in love with the system.